Sometimes, reality can be more entertaining, inspiring, and mysterious than fantasy. And if you want your fill of mind-blowing true stories, here are 10 of Netflix's most talked about documentaries that you'll want to put on your watch list. Starting off with The Great Hack at number 10. Undeniably one of the most controversial documentaries of 2019, The Great Hack takes a deep dive into the Facebook Cambridge Analytica scandal that took the world by storm. After the social media giant's widespread user privacy breach and data collection controversies hit the headlines in 2018, investigations started about how its targeted ads, fake viral videos, and carefully curated news stories played a pivotal role in the 2016 presidential elections and Brexit campaign. The documentary includes interviews with a whistleblower from Cambridge Analytica, Brittany Kaiser, who also helps shed light on how unknowing consumers and internet users have become victims and pawns in the seemingly unsolvable problem of the digital age. At number 9. Blackfish. Every documentary producer wishes to achieve, one way or another, what Blackfish did in 2013. To change the cultural discourse and make a whole nation rethink the status quo. The 1.5-hour-long documentary puts the spotlight on the troubling story of Tilikum, a killer whale that has taken the lives of several people, including his own trainer, Don Brancho. More than just examining SeaWorld's policies on orca captivity and training, the documentary also underscores problems relating to sea park and animal captivity as a mainstream source of entertainment, mankind's interference with nature, and how our dedication to financial gain directly affects the lives of other species on the planet. We're delving into the world of the Swifties at number 8. Miss Americana. Nowadays, there's just no one who hasn't heard of Taylor Swift. But this documentary unpeels layers that have never been exposed by the singer-songwriter sensation. Instead of focusing on her music, the 2020 documentary film allows a rare, intimate peek into the pop superstar's life, telling the story of her meteoric rise to fame, taking you backstage on her Reputation tour, recounting her sexual assault lawsuit experience and the breaking of her political silence, and ultimately following her journey to coming to terms with who she is as a person. At number 7 is another 2020 documentary about a familiar name, The Last Dance. Over the course of 10 episodes, this docuseries chronicles the life and career of Michael Jordan, his final season with the Chicago Bulls, and how his rise to fame created the superstar athlete genre. Each 1-hour-long episode uses a mixture of archive clips and never-before-seen footages, jumping back and forth between Jordan's early years as an athlete and the 1998 Bulls season. You don't have to be an avid basketball fan to be wowed and fascinated by the story of this man who spent his entire life striving for greatness no matter the cost. Next up at number 6, Jim and Andy, The Great Beyond. Owing to the fact that this is a documentary about Jim Carrey, it's hardly surprising that this is going to be one weird but highly entertaining watch. For 20 years, the footages that were used in this documentary were hidden from the public for fear of it making Carrey look like an asshole. These tapes were taken during the making of the 1999 film, Man on the Moon, during which Carrey decided to go full method, not just playing the role, but actually becoming the eccentric and often infuriating Andy Kaufman on and off cam. He asked 2 of Kaufman's real-life friends to document the experience, revealing instances of Carrey storming into Spielberg's office, crashing cars on set, conning his way into the Playboy Mansion, provoking his co-stars into outright violence, and reuniting with the late comedian's real family. It gives us a glimpse on the unflinching, deliciously painful-to-watch chronicle of Carrey's method acting, his career, and how being Andy forever changed how he saw things. We're now at the half mark and we're taking a step away from celebrity documentaries as we move on to a true crime documentary at number 5, American Murder, The Family Next Door. There are so many enthralling true crime documentaries on Netflix. In fact, we created an entire episode just for that. But one that truly stood out and enraged not just an entire nation, but the whole world is the 2020 documentary, American Murder, The Family Next Door. It tells the horrifying story of Chris Watts, a seemingly average guy who goes from the world's best dad and husband to the world's most hated murderer. Through text messages, social media posts from his wife, Shannon Watts, and archival footages from Shannon's family and the police, the 1-hour 22-minute long docufilm is an expertly executed but deeply disturbing account of betrayal and deception of the worst kind imaginable. Next up at number 4, Jeffrey Epstein, Filthy Rich. This 2020 4-episode mini docuseries is the first in a wave of expository documentaries on the heinous life of the mega-rich, extremely powerful sex offender, Jeffrey Epstein. For most of his life, Epstein seemed untouchable, despite all the accusations of raping underage girls over the course of decades. After a 2018 investigation finally led to his capture and eventual apparent suicide, the public is left with more questions than answers. The documentary also throws some huge names into the spotlight, including Bill Clinton, Donald Trump, and Prince Andrew, who have been accused of being suspiciously close to Epstein. It also puts the focus on the countless women who were abused and trafficked to other powerful men, how they are slowly learning to find their voice, and how the trail of abusive monsters goes far beyond Epstein. Taking the number 3 spot, 13th. This documentary film is one that was made to both infuriate you and inspire you to take action. Directed by the same Ava DuVernay behind the 2014 historical drama Selma, 13th is a searing documentary that hopes to shed light on how the mass incarceration of African Americans and other minorities goes beyond ingrained cultural racism. Systematically exploring the decades following the passage of the 13th Amendment, it points out the imbalance in the way black citizens are sentenced, how the financial incentives of locking people up has brought about a new form of slavery, and how modern political decisions continue to spin a broken gear that systematic racism is built upon. Making a platform finish at the number 2, Icarus. To say that Icarus is a game changer would be an understatement. This Oscar-winning documentary starts out as an expose on how easy it is for cyclists to evade doping rules and the effects that these performance-enhancing drugs have in the sports world. After the head of Russia's anti-dope agency let slip a shocking discovery about Russia's athletes, Icarus director Brian Fogel suddenly finds himself dragged into a web of geopolitics and conspiracies, causing the documentary to take an unexpected turn as they further reveal Russia's sinister tactics in its massive Cold War-style doping scheme. Another powerful political documentary lands the top spot. At number 1, American Factory. If you want to feel good about the state of the nation's industry, about the promise of the American dream, this isn't the film for you. Also an Oscar-winning documentary, American Factory is the first title to be produced by Higher Ground, the production company under former US President Barack Obama and First Lady Michelle. It features the story of the now-defunct General Motors plant in Ohio, which was later turned into a glass-making facility under the Chinese company Fuyao. The almost 2-hour-long piercing documentary tells the plight of the skilled labor force, who have become the easy victims of the rich and the powerful, whether they be American or Chinese. Apart from these titles, what other Netflix documentaries have you seen that are worth a watch? Tell us in the comments and make sure to check out our other videos on Netflix's most anticipated shows and most intriguing true crime documentaries. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and turn on the notifications to get front row seats to watch Canon's mind-blowing videos. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.